Hi guys, welcome back to a new video. And today what we're going to be doing is another first impressions video. And this time we're going to be tackling Queen 2. Yeah, I'm not going in chronological order, but I don't care. So anyway, yeah, I've been listening to all the Queen albums. By the way, one on Sheer Heart Attack will be out in a couple days. Anyway, so Queen 2 is Queen's second album. I know, pretty shocking. Now, I'll go into kind of a bit about the album. So the album is basically, I'd say it's their most fantasy-oriented album. It's definitely more like, it definitely is a bit more fantasy and stuff like that. And a lot of the songs are about like queens and other like ogres and stuff like that, fantasy related stuff like that. I just listened to this album, so there's not going to be a second part of this where I'm like, okay, well, you know what, now I think this song is good, but this song is worse, stuff like that. So this is just going based off of my first impressions. So the first song that isn't Procession, that's what it's called. I have the track list with me this time. Yes, I'm not really counting that as a song. It's just an intro. First song, Father to Son, I really like, actually. It's pretty good. Not really much to say about it, but I like it. Next song is White Queen, As It Began. It's funny how many times they mention Queen on this album. Like, this is probably the album where they mentioned their band name the most out of all the other albums, even though this doesn't even have Killer Queen on it. But this has White Queen, which is pretty good. It's a pretty good song. This side, so I should put into context, there is a side white and a side black. The side white is the first side. So these first 5 songs, or 4, because Procession doesn't count, are going to be side white, and the rest is going to be from side black, just so you know. Anyway, so White Queen is a pretty good song. Someday One Day is pretty good. Someday One Day. I don't remember a lot of these songs that well. They're like down to the detail, because I would have remembered them if they stood out more. They're fine. They're good. I'll probably return to them, but they're not amazing. And I mean, I still like them, but they're not amazing, and so nothing really stood out to me. The Loser in the End is definitely a more interesting song. I think this song is either this song or another song in this album has Roger Taylor on vocals, which is interesting. I'm pretty sure it's this song, The Loser in the End. And speaking of end, that's the end of side white, and the next song is the first song of side black, which is where the album starts to get really good. Ogre Battle. Damn, this is a great song. It's probably one of their heaviest songs as well. We'll get back more into that in the Sheer Heart Attack review. But this song is amazing, and I saw that the band even said if they were to release a second single from this album, it probably would have been Ogre Battle, which I agree. I think it would have been a good thing. I think they probably should have released it as a single, but I don't know. Maybe the public isn't ready for that type of a fantasy-oriented song, because the topic is very, if you look at the lyrics, which I have been looking at the lyrics for a lot of these, it instantly is clear what the song is about. By the title, you could probably have someone to guess what it's about. But anyway, the next song is the Fairy Fellers Masterstroke, which I think is really good too. And one thing about Ogre Battle, actually, that I forgot is I love how it starts with its outro played in reverse. That song starts with a reverse playing of part of the song, and then it ends with the non-reversed part of the non-reversed beginning. So I think that's cool how they kind of round it and bookend it, stuff like that. And I think it adds a lot more, coolness to it and progness to it. This is pretty prog album in general, especially Side Black is really actually pretty prog, and I didn't actually realize that Queen were this prog and metal, because they're this album and Sheer Heart Attack are pretty much, and I mean, I haven't listened to the other Queen albums yet. I'm kind of new to this stuff. I haven't listened to any Queen album besides Sheer Heart Attack and this one. But yeah, this one and Sheer Heart Attack are definitely more metal, which I like. It's less prog. It's more like Black Sabbath in a way. Not that the lyrics are dark, or that and I know Freddie's voice doesn't sound anything like Ozzy's, but I think it's similar in the way to where it's metal is the heavy metal in the main genre, but then it's also kind of prog, but it's not 100% prog. That's what I feel that both Queen, or at least early Queen, and Black Sabbath have in common. And yes, I've heard Queen songs from later stuff. I've heard a lot of their singles, pretty much. I pretty much heard all their singles that they released, so I know a lot. I know, 20 Queen songs, besides Sheer Heart Attack and this album. Anyway, let's get back to this. The Fairy Fellers Masterstroke, I don't actually know if the suite started in Ogre Battle or if it started here, but here's where basically every song blends into each other, and it's basically one big fantasy story. Now it's really cool. It's a really good song, and it has a lot of dynamics. This album is very dynamic, and I love how they can go between so many different things so quickly, and of course their harmonies are just amazing, which is a Queen staple, but I just love it. Next song is Nevermore, which is kind of just a segue song, like a interlude between the two. It does have some lyrics, unlike most interludes, but it's fine. It's nothing special. Next song, The March of the Black Queen. Damn, this is a good song. This and Ogre Battle are probably two of my favorite Queen songs that I've heard so far. Others would include, Don't Stop Me Now, and Somebody to Love, Fat Bottom Girls, Bicycle City, stuff like that. And I'll get into the Sheer Heart Attack ones in the Sheer Heart Attack review, just so you know. But, yeah, I really like March of the Black Queen. It's such a epic song, even though it's only 6 minutes, which for most bands isn't usually epic length. I think it's epic in the sense of its storytelling, and it's really good. I really like how everything plays, and the band just sounds amazing. And this would have been a really interesting route for them to go for their next few albums, because from the singles that I've heard, none of their other albums sound like this, sound like Queen 2 in terms of metal and fantasy prog-ishness. So I really wish they would have gone that direction, because I think I would have liked it a lot more. But we'll see. I haven't listened to any of them, as I've already said way too many times in this video. Anyway, next up after that is Funny How Love Is, which is, it's fine. It's a fine song after the March of the Black Queen. It kind of, it's like you can't top it, so it's obviously worse, and it kind of deteriorates. The March of the Black Queen kind of deteriorates Funny How Love Is, because March of the Black Queen is so good, and Funny How Love Is just kind of a stereotypical Queen song, which is definitely not bad. Or maybe I'm just not remembering it, and I'll future review it, and I'll be like, oh my god, this is amazing. Anyway, the album closes out with the only single, apparently, from this album, as I've read before, from the fact that if they were going to release another single, it would be Ogre Battle. Seven Seas of Rye, which of course I have heard before. And I think it's a pretty good song. Of course, I've heard it before, and it's definitely pretty cool. I never really knew what the song was about. And apparently it's about Freddie. If I've read this correctly and I'm remembering this correctly, it's about Freddie and his sister made up like a place in their mind called Rye, and that's basically what the song is about, which is cool, and it fits with the rest of the side black and overall theme of the album, which is more fantasy. Man, I said fantasy in this review so many times. Anyway, so that's pretty much the album. Just spit. Anyway, so that's pretty much the end of the album. I do think the one gripe I have with Seven Seas of Rye is that it's a very anticlimactic ending, which I don't really like. I think it could have had a better ending. It kind of just ends with them. The song kind of just fizzles out. But besides that little gripe, I really like that song and the rest of Black, and the rest of this album. This album is really good. I think this. I'm not gonna say if it's better than Sheer Heart Attack. We'll get to that in the Sheer Heart Attack review, but I think it's really good, and it's definitely one that you should listen to a lot because it's really good, and I will definitely be returning to it a lot, and I'll maybe let you know in the future if my opinion on this changes or not. So I guess that's it. Subscribe if you're new. Leave a comment down below what you think of this album or your ranking of the album. I'd love to know in the comments down below. Make sure to subscribe and like the video, and stay tuned for my other content because I do lots of videos like this on bands and song name videos. Of course, that they're coming up. Tool is next, by the way, for my song name videos, so look out for that in the next few weeks. See you later.